It's only been a few weeks since the newest wave of Epstein files started dropping and people are already losing their minds. Not in a conspiracy thread way, in a how is this real way. On the latest episode of The Brilliant Idiots, Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schulz spent a huge chunk of time unpacking what's in those documents. And the tone isn't playful, it isn't jokey, it's cynical, it's disgusted. Quite frankly, I'm disgusted myself, because some of the details coming out are beyond grotesque. One of the most disturbing revelations discussed and also mentioned recently on the Joe Rogan Experience is an email exchange where Epstein and a redacted individual talk about a young victim who is a strong believer in Christ.
Look, let me show you this email. This is one of them. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein sends this to a redacted person. Blank said, talking about, I imagine a young woman, said that she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and helped save her life. And then he writes, whoops. And then he writes again, he goes, you should dress up as him when you see her.
Yo, where the AI videos from hell? Yo, yeah, create some AI videos showing us these people burning in fucking hell.
I don't know the context of that conversation. I don't know who they're talking to because the names are redacted, who they're talking about are redacted. But I'm sure we're all imagining he's talking about a young woman who believes in God and feels saved by Jesus. And he's actively talking about defiling her in Jesus's name and image. And that is...
that's insanity. That I don't even know.
Why is the person that he's messaging redacted? I want to know the person that he's messaging about that.
Yo,
and I want to see justice in the most violent way towards that person. Medieval, like medieval Wu-Tang torture tactics, nigga. Like assholes gotta be closed, sold shut. Feeding them.
Like for real, man. People gotta get castrated. Like you gotta do some sick shit. Like bring them in the middle of Times Square and motherfucking do some public killings. Like that, some wild shit gotta happen. No,
again, real. I don't know. As justice is what he said. As justice,
because we don't even know if Epstein really dead.
See, now when I said it was crazy, like, yo, you ain't shit.
The people should have been able to see. We don't even know if Epstein did. Yo, you seen the video of him in Israel?
I saw that shit. I saw that with the bodyguards walking around with the beard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, we
You'd
just
have to be stupid to not think that was real.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Weaponizing a young girl's faith, twisting something sacred to her into a tool for abuse. That's not just criminal. That's barbaric. And this is where Charlamagne and Schulz are unified. Whoever is in that email exchange deserves to be exposed. Why is that name redacted? If the crime is that dark, what exactly is being protected? That question sits over the entire episode. Schulz points out something interesting about the files. They aren't filled with athletes and entertainers. They're filled with scientists, politicians, finance guys, billionaires, the so-called intellectual elite. His theory is cynical but sharp. A lot of these men are powerful in boardrooms but insecure in real life. Super alphas in their professional circles, but socially inadequate compared to celebrities.
I was thinking about this with the Epstein files, right?
Yeah.
Are these people natural born pedophiles? Or is this something they have to do once they get in a certain position?
Do you want to know what I think it is?
That's why I asked the question.
Okay, so if you notice like all the people related to the Epstein files, right? There's really no entertainers and no like athletes.
No.
Like almost zero.
Yeah.
Right? Who is it? It's like scientists, politicians,
spiritual leaders,
billionaires.
Yeah.
Right? Like hedge fund dudes, finance guys, right? It's really all like fat, short nerds. Okay? Who are super alphas in their life. They're the most brilliant people in every room they step in. They feel like they are the man constantly, except for one aspect of their life.
Little dicks.
I don't know how big their dicks are, but I know when they're in a room and it's them and Denzel Washington, the girls ain't looking at them. When Bill Gates, there's the perfect picture, and Bezos isn't on the island or anything like that, but remember that video of Jeff Bezos and his new wife meeting Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes,
remember
I do
the
remember
way
that.
his wife is looking at Leonardo DiCaprio. Like Bezos isn't even there. She's drooling over this meeting with Leonardo DiCaprio. Jeff Bezos is like, I built the most successful company in the world. I'm going to send you to space. And Leonardo DiCaprio is just in the room and she can't even look at her husband. And I think that's what they go through in their everyday life. They're like, why am I an alpha in every single situation? I do whatever the fuck I want. These are the crazy people who made $200 million and felt like they had to make more than that.
They made more than that.
They also dive into the political angle. Donald Trump is reportedly mentioned repeatedly in the files. Charlamagne highlights the irony. Trump campaigned on draining the swamps and releasing the Epstein files, yet redactions continue. Names remain hidden. If the documents completely cleared him, Schulz argues they'd be plastered on billboards in Times Square.
Why is Jelaine still alive?
Yeah.
What's up with that? Like, what is the purpose of them still having her alive at this point?
Also, she's saying this thing like, I'll clear Trump's name if you give me clemency.
What the fuck? Yo, what world are we living in?
Why you need clemency if it's clear? Why you need something special if it's clear? The truth shall set you free. Why do you need a bonus for the truth?
You're right.
Like, think about that,
That
right?
pretty much guarantees there's some shit there on Trump.
So here's the
Bro, he was mentioned a million.
No, I know,
Yo, Trump
but I
went
mean-
platinum in the Epstein files, yo.
Yeah, but she
He's mentioned
confirmed
a
it.
million times.
So here's
and by the way, in the redacted Epstein files, he's mentioned a million
I know
times.
that. Listen,
That's crazy.
The shit that we saw, we were saying this on Flagrant, but the shit that we saw, those are the sacrificial lambs. How powerful are the people in the files that they gave us Bill Gates on the first drop?
Charlamagne questions the official narrative of Epstein's death.
Y'all didn't see that picture that they think Epstein is still alive? He just has like a gray beard. And
I saw that, Taylor. I knew if anybody would fall for that, it would be Taylor. Because we don't even know if Epstein really dead.
See,
Like
now
the
when
people-
I said it was crazy, like, yo, you ain't shit.
The people should have been able to see. We don't even know if Epstein dead. Yo, you seen the video of him in Israel?
I saw that shit.
Allegedly?
I saw that with
That's
the
what I'm
bodyguards
saying.
walking around with the
that's
beard.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
know.
yo, we
You'd
just
have to be
don't know.
stupid to not think that was real.
I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know. All I'm simply saying is I
I
don't
can't
know.
believe you didn't see that image yet. That's crazy.
Because I be wondering
I
this
can't
too.
believe that, man.
Out of all of these hundreds of women who have been victimized,
You think
and
it's just
abused-
hundreds?
Well, thousands. Yeah, you're right.
Thousands.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands. Probably had tens of thousands, at least easily. But out of all of these women who've been victimized and abused, you're telling me only 2 people went to prison for that shit, yo?
Whether you agree with that or not, it shows how deep public distrust has become. But here's where the conversation gets complicated. Because while both Charlamagne and Schulz are furious about what's in the files, some people will look at Schulz and say, hold on. A few years ago, Schulz hosted Trump on his Flagrant podcast. He entertained him, gave him space, let him speak casually, and now Trump's name is reportedly scattered throughout these documents. So critics may ask whether Schulz is fully reckoning with the ecosystem he once participated in. It's similar to the tension around Joe Rogan right now. You can condemn corruption, but if you platform figures tied to that corruption, people are going to question you. That doesn't mean Schulz is complicit. It means perception matters.
Walk with me on this.
Okay.
2008 financial crisis, right? The banks sell these predatory loans to people. People lose everything. They lose their houses, lose their lives. The banks get bailed out and the CEOs get bonuses, right? The rest of us go, why the fuck did none of you go to jail? And then we learn that there's a big club. None of us are invited into it. And I think a lot of us go, holy shit. If we do fucked up things or we make mistakes, there's repercussions for our actions. All these people lost their homes. They lost their livelihood. They lost everything. We look at that and we go, oh, we got to be careful because bad things can happen with you if you put yourself in fucked up situations.
Yeah.
Those people, they look at that and they go, they got bonuses, they got bailed out, none of them go to jail. They go, oh, I could do whatever I want.
So they're just evil motherfuckers who just are who just want to see what they can get
What
away
do
with.
kids do when you don't give them guidelines?
They keep
or
pushing.
rules?
They keep pushing. Yeah. So they want to see what they can get away with. Nah, that makes all the
You're
sense
also
in the
looking at like the most ambitious sociopathic people on the planet, right? These are all people that are like money. The Epstein class of people, regardless what institution they're in, they're all obsessed with money and power, and they'll do whatever it takes to get money and power. And they live within a framework in America, which is unfortunately, religion doesn't play as much of a part in culture as it used to. And I think because of that, it's been replaced by money. And then whatever it takes to get money for the Epstein class of people, they're okay with. They'll look the other way about stuff.
The more the files drop, the more people feel like they're watching proof of a two-tier justice system in real time. The Dow can hit 50,000. The economy can boom. But if the powerful can traffic, abuse, and protect each other without consequence, what exactly is the system worth? The episode isn't about conspiracy theatrics. It's about collapse of trust. And when comedians, not journalists, not politicians, are the ones articulating that distrust most clearly, it tells you something about where public confidence sits. The files are grim, but the redactions might be worse, because they signal that even now, after everything, someone is still being protected.